Dear viewers, welcome to my channel Exercise Activities. In this video, we learn about the transformation of objective function into standard form. Here given a problem, let's start to transform it into standard form. Here the objective function is in maximization and there are three constraints. Two constraints are first and third constraint are in less than equal form and second constraint are in greater than equal form. We should change all the inequalities in equalities. So we should and here given that x3 variable is unrestricted in sign. So if any variable are in unrestricted, so we should change it in this form that x3 equal x3 prime minus x3 double prime, where x3 prime greater than equal 0 and x3 prime double dash also greater than equal 0. Now we should know about two variable. One kind of is slack variable and another is surplus variable. When the inequality is in less than equal form, we use slack variable, and when the inequality is in greater than equal form, we use surplus variable. Here we use S1, here we use S2 as surplus variable and S3 as slack variable, because the third constant are in less than equal form and second is greater than equal form, so we use S2 as surplus variable. Okay, introducing slack variables S1 which is greater than equal 0 and S2 greater than equal 0 in first and third constant, because they are in less than equal form. First and third is less than equal form, and we use a surplus variable S2 in second constant as these inequalities in greater than equal 0 in a second constant. So what is the transformation form of this? Here 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 5x3. We change x3 as x3 dash minus x3 double dash. Okay. So maximization is z equal, it is unchanged, and here we use x3 dash and x3 double dash instead of x3, and in the objective function we added all of variable slack and surplus variable. In the first constraint, here 2x1 and minus 3x2 is unchanged, there are no changed, but when if we want to it transform in standard form, we use also here x3. So as there are no x3 variable, so we used 0 x3 dash plus 0 x3 double dash, and in the first constraints as it is in less than equal form, so we used a slack variable and we added it with this constant, and the any other two variables are in 0. Okay, dear student, and we now use equal instead of less than equal 3. We used equal instead of less than equal. Okay, in the second constraint, here also x1 and 2x1, x2 is unchanged, and instead of 3x3 we used 3x2 dashed minus 3x2 x3 double dash, and as we used a surplus variable in the second constraint, so we subtract it from this constraint, so we used minus s2, and the s3 and s1 is 0, and we use equal instead of the inequalities. Similarly, we transform this third constraint into equalities, and we use slack variable s3, and s2 and s1 is 0. And here the all of variables x1, x2, x3 dash, x3 double dash, s1, s2, s3 are greater than or equal 0. So dear viewers, this is the standard form of LPP. Thank you everybody.